We've talked a lot about the Colorado River and what it means to Southern Nevada, making up 90% of our water supply. There's a lot of questions and concerns as we end this year because all of the operating guidelines that we have on the Colorado River, our agreements amongst the water users, our agreements with the federal government, and the agreements between the United States and Mexico about how we manage shortages and the releases from Lake Powell to Lake Mead are ending in 2026. And as you may have heard, the 7 basin states have not reached an agreement on long-term operations of the river. That's incredibly disappointing for us here in Southern Nevada. Hydrologic conditions are very poor right now. We're seeing record low inflows to Lake Powell, and that's pushing our reservoirs down further than they ever have been historically. As a result of that, less water is being released from Lake Powell to Lake Mead this year, and more water is coming out of the reservoirs upstream of Lake Powell to help bolster its elevation. When we look at the planning tools that we have here in Southern Nevada, we have been planning for larger shortages than existed in our current guidelines for at least the last decade. We've looked at the future projections of the Colorado River, and we've said it's unreasonable to assume that we would have that same amount of water available to us. We have stepped forward with the lower basin states, that's Arizona and California, to provide a proposal for how the river might be operated in 2027 and 2028. That involves Nevada taking a reduction of 50,000 acre-feet a year from our allocation. Our allocation is 300,000 acre-feet of water. That means instead of having that 300,000 acre-feet of water to supply our community, we would have 250,000 acre-feet instead. The good news is, in 2025, we used 198,000 acre-feet. So we still have a buffer between the reduction that we're agreeing to and the amount of water we're using. That's incredibly important for a community in the Mojave Desert. That means we have to keep our use lower than what we may face in a reduction on the Colorado River and build new supplies and redundancies like our banked water to ensure that we're not impacting our quality of life in permanent ways when we experience supply disruptions. While it's important that the lower basin states have agreed on the reductions that we would take and some additional voluntary conservation we would do on top of this, this is not a panacea to solve all of the river's problems. It's a bridge, and it's designed for our communities to work together to use less water while we have a little bit more time to develop long-term agreements. Those long-term agreements will be difficult to come by because they require every community to acknowledge that the water supply is not the water supply that was promised to them 100 years ago. It's important that we all do what we can to help save the Colorado River. Thank you.